The improvements of society may be viewed under a threefold aspect. 1. The poet or philosopher illustrates his age and country by the efforts of a single mind. But those superior powers of reason or fancy are rare and spontaneous productions. The genius of Homer or Cicero or Newton would excite less admiration if they could be created by the will of a prince or the lessons of a teacher. 2. The benefit of law and policy, of trade and manufactures, of arts and sciences are more solid and permanent, and many individuals may be qualified by education and discipline to promote, in their respective stations, the interests of the community. But this general order is still the effect of skill and labor, and the complex machinery may be decayed by time or injured by violence. 3. Fortunately for mankind, the more useful, or at least more necessary arts can be performed without superior talents or national subordination, without the powers of one or the union of many. Each village, each family, each individual must always possess both ability and inclination to perpetuate the use of fire and of metals, to propagate the service of domestic animals, the method of hunting and fishing, the rudiments of navigation, the imperfect cultivation of corn or other nutritive grain, and the simple practice of the mechanic trades. Private genius and public industry may be extirpated, but these hardy plants survive the tempest and strike an everlasting root into the most unfavorable soil. The splendid days of Augustine and Trajan were eclipsed by a cloud of ignorance, and the barbarians subverted the laws and palaces of Rome, but the scythe still continued annually to mow the harvests of Italy. Since the first discovery of the arts, war, commerce, and religious zeal have diffused among the savages of the Old and New World, these inestimable gifts, they have been successfully propagated, they can never be lost. We may therefore acquiesce in the pleasing conclusion that every age of the world has increased and still increases the real wealth, the happiness, the knowledge, and perhaps the virtue of the human race. This excerpt from Edward Gibbon, I think, is about perspective. Around all the chaos, the world continues. If you know how to build and fix things and have hard skills that people need, you are the ones who keep the world moving forward. That we are better off than our forefathers, that advancements, although may be ignored for a time, are found and brought back. The Dark Ages led to the Renaissance, for example. When we look at where we are, over the last 20 years, more than 1 billion people have been lifted out of extreme poverty globally. We are more just, more generous, more conscious than we have ever been in world history. We need to thank our ancestors and all the people who came before us so we can be here today. Gibbon makes the claim that improvements can never be lost. I hope he's right.